You know,
And some of you allowed yourself willingly, ignoring the facts, ignoring ignoring the fact that we have a common goal. Most of you were deceived, even in the midst of all these red flags. That was the one that broke my heart, because I could not even wait for more of all these red flags to pop up before I took my decision, because I knew from the onset that immediately everything started. It was even from that woman in Italy, that the one that one morning I was listening to his useless brokers that he always do from under the tree. Then I was like hearing him attacking our prime minister, our current prime minister now. Calling him names. You know, trying to impose his own stupidity. Targeting Biafrans to turn their minds against our current prime minister. I was then asking myself, what is the meaning of this nonsense? And when did this all started? And even though there is something or such like this, does that warrant this idiot to come up on the social media and start disgracing herself? So, but then I took caution. I was like watching, and I said, okay, let's see. That was when I even blocked and unsubscribed him. Even I think I also went to his brokers and tried to debunk the lies that he was trying to project out there. So, but though he I was dropped, but though I knew that me, I don't waste time. I passed my message, and I believe that he got it very, very clear. So you see, all these things, all this bunch of miscreants, they gather themselves, they gang themselves. Then knowing fully what they were doing, knowing fully well that they have all been bought over. So what was their plan? What was their aim? What was their goal? Then their own goal now was not different. Their own goal now was to bring down their government in exile, since our ex-prime minister has already been detained. So all this bunch of criminals, they all worked together, thinking that they were going to achieve that of which they tried to impose on Biafran people, not knowing that they are going to meet resistance, because there are people who were thinking critically. Because like someone like me and someone like most of us, we couldn't allow this to get to this extent before we begin to understand, all their agenda and all their plans. Because you cannot just come up and start saying that the government that is that is in charge, of our recognition. It is not. But what do you mean? That now you are going to form your own organization. Now that you are going to start home with your air peace flight to Nigeria. And so many people saw all these things and they could not even ask questions. They couldn't even say, okay, oh, is this what we are here for? Is this what you couldn't even articulate? None of you could even say, no, let us come out from this this scale or whatever it is. So,
okay,
but
Minister, please,
I thank God.
can I drop on Emma's own so that we can now enter into general conversation?
Yeah. Okay.
Please, so sorry for cutting you, my minister.
No
Okay,
problem. Yeah, I'm on my way.
okay. So, guys, one day, so the first coup d'etat has happened. Ngozi broke away, carried all the people he carried our money along with her, and our brothers and sisters left. Told them that you have gotten USB. Established, try to undo all the things Briggy did. So, but she didn't succeed. Thank God for Briggy. where Oge Nkere was the APM. You understand? So Ngozi continued to be an obstacle to what Briggy is doing. So Briggy was like one day planned to sue her. And what happened? Suddenly from nowhere, CRC chairman said, what? You must not sue Ngozi. Ruby Nadi said, what? You must not sue Ngozi. But they are witnessing and seeing what Ngozi is doing. Ngozi carried our money and refused to bring back the money. Ngozi was busy trying to undo all the hard works of our former PM and Briggy government. What happened? People in Europe, Ngozi CRC chairman connived with people in Europe, did another coup d'etat. Under 1 year, Briggy experienced 2 coups d'etats. What happened? How did it start? With the CRC chairman gang. One day, ladies and gentlemen, they called on our then APM and told him we needed a card to test the data website. How it started with CRC Yoga. That they needed a card to test data website. They also told him, suddenly they told him, you know, Biafrans don't support Biafra funding because that you, the APM, is involved. I mean, you are signatory to that account. And the Biafrans don't like you taking care of the account or you being the signatory to the account. The Biafrans don't want it. So our then APM said, okay, if they don't want him to be signatory to the account, they should bring one few people, more people to be signatory to the account. And then there will be peace. You know what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Anyone I forget, you can pick up the mic later and add. These people went behind, open a new bank account, put Ruby Nadi there as a signatory, put what do you call her again? Madam Ada, I don't know, as signatory. When our APM saw this, you know, the man is brilliant. He might not be on the talking side, but he's very, very brilliant. And he's more brilliant than all of them there that call themselves doctors and lawyers and engineers and doctor and doctor. But common sense you don't have. It's very bad. So who did the CRC chairman and gang brought? He brought Ruben Nadi to be the secretary to the same new account. Brought to I don't know who to be the new, secretary to the new account they are opening. Bang. Our APM saw this, saw a red flag already. Said no, 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 no. Ruby Nadi cannot be. I don't know who cannot be. Why is what I want to tell you. Listen, Ruby Nadi and most of the senior 2025 coup plotters are members of People's Club of Nigeria. Are you listening? Ruben Nadi and most of the 2025 coup plotters are members with Ngozi. All of them are all members. They know themselves. They are People's Club Brotherhood. Are all members of People's Club of Nigeria. And they were the people that introduced Ngozi to Brigi and the then former Prime Minister. Ruby Nnadi and Ngozi are in close proximity to each other. Both live in Atlanta, Georgia. Remember, by now, Ngozi has gone her own way, opened her own company, and every other thing, disturbing, spoiling, trying to spoil what we are doing in Brigi. Yet, Ruby Nnadi was having an affair with Ngozi. Having an affair, okay. They are in close proximity, doing things together. They both live in Atlanta, Georgia, both in People's Club of Nigeria. Meanwhile, according to our law, according to our charter, our bylaw said that they, being a member of Nigeria political party and organization, within 5 years, shouldn't have been or shouldn't have had any position in Brigi. Our APM, our then APM, saw it and it was a red flag. So seeing Ruby, signatory to account, who is a member of People's Club of Nigeria, it was a red flag. You see, our APM knows our charter at the back of his hands. Our then APM knows our charter, our constitution, our bylaws at the back of his hands. He knows it. So as soon as he cited Ruby Nnadi, cited I don't know who, that's a red flag already. But to them, they'll have to go and carry the bylaws and begin to study and study to find out why. Our then APM said no to Ruby Nnadi. You now understand what happened in the last coup. Okay. Because we are following our law. And if not so, all of us will be messed up. All of us will become all lawless. You understand? Let me put my phone on fire. And the electric is going down. So, ladies and gentlemen, she shouldn't have had any position in Brigi because such a person poses a security threat to the government.
Exactly. Good morning.
Ruby Nnadi still participating in Nigeria organization.
Keep sharing.
Therefore,
is here.
is a violation of the bylaws and requires her resignation. He resigned. You understand? So APM, the then APM said no, that this lady is still working with Nigerian government, is still participating in the Nigerian organization. So you can't be part of, you can't have a signatory to the account. Meanwhile, Musa and the Nigerian government already are targeting our finance, get their finance and crumble Biafra quest. And suddenly, somebody that is working with Nigerian government, that is part of People's Club of Nigeria, that is part of organization in Nigeria, is now wanting to be in charge, a signatory to the account of Biafra government. That's a red flag there, leaving her. So our then APM said no. And they became mad. Ruby, being a member of Nigeria political party and organization, Mama No, being part of the 2024 coup d'etat plotters, according to our bylaws, does not have right to become a signatory to the new account and shouldn't occupy any position. Do you understand? Since I don't know who was part of the first coup d'etat with Ngozi, because when Ngozi left, I don't know who went with Ngozi. And at a particular time, she said she has her senses back, and so she came back. And now that she's back, she's not supposed to occupy any other important position in Brigi because she was part of the coup d'etat, the first coup d'etat. Do you understand it? Mama Ono, being a part of the 2024 coup d'etat, according to our bylaws, does not have right to become a signatory to the new account and shouldn't occupy any position. That was why APM said no. That was why the rest of the Briggy member cabinet said no. They became mad. CRC chairman Ruben Nadi, who again? No. Okay, I don't know who. Do not have rights, according to our bylaws, to get involved on the matters that have to do with BDF. They don't have rights to that. We have laws guiding us. So you don't come from anywhere and want to do anything anyhow. In fact, that is also one of the reasons why we're going away from Nigeria, because Nigeria is not organized, it's lawless. They don't obey their constitution. They don't obey their laws. They don't abide by it. CRC chairman and Ruby, Nadi, and I don't know who do not have rights, according to our bylaw, to get involved on the matter that have to do with BDF because it's a classified. And so they do not have access to it. They do not have access. They are not supposed to. So them trying to go there, they are not supposed to. They have never done that. So that we didn't see our then Prime Minister, they want to scatter everything, forget our bylaws, because he said the bylaw is a shadow, that our charter is a shadow document. They want to now begin to behave anyhow, do anyhow. And so our then APM said no, we must abide by the rules and regulations of this government. According to our bylaws, our APM or our PM only have the power to fire, on fire any person, not CRC. You see, CRC group, CRC chairman created this whole problem from the very beginning. And he believed
See demo after claiming that she's Biafra. Now he's now calling us
so
nothing like
CRC
Biafra.
chairman
Creating
creating this whole problem came back and told us that the PM told them to solve the problem. CRC chairman told us that PM told him to settle the problem. And I was asking, how can CRC chairman settle a problem he himself created? He created the problem. He's not telling you that he was given order to be in charge to settle the problem. But you are part of the problem. You created the problem. So if anybody should settle the problem, it shouldn't be CRC chairman. It shouldn't be anything CRC or back or whatever they call themselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, CRC chairman was trying to resolve it by allowing Ruby and I don't know who to become signatory to the account. And that's off. It's not written in our law. Our then APM saw it. A lot of cabinet members saw it and said, no, you lie, CRC chairman. Can't you bring another person? Must it be these same people
use your direct
that got involved in the
put it there
2024
and
coup
come and
d'etat?
ask me, come in,
That got involved in
tell me there's nothing Biafra. You they claim say nothing like
that are members of
Biafra, but
Nigeria
you are in
Political
Biafra
Parties and
platform.
organizations.
Before they tell me say
Mban.
you be Biafra. Now you
So,
don't change.
CRC chairman became
Fulani
mad.
terrorist. Water. Go and
Did
rest
meeting
peace. Or you
with
follow
the
Musa
European rep and the gang. And they said therefore they now remove
Thank you for sharing.
the then APM.
Fulani kanka.
We're supposed to be following our laws and constitutions and bylaws and charter. All these cabinet members, lawyers and doctors and engineers, they forgot, they refused to read the charter. And they were telling us, read the charter, study your charter. Charter, study it. But you are not studying it. You, our leader, you are not studying it. We were really obeying them. We were studying it, but they themselves were not studying it. Another person that studied it anyway was our APM. He was studying it. But the cabinet members didn't deem it fit to be studying it because they want to take you back to Nigeria system and ideologies and politics. This whole thing started when members of the now dissolved Biafra Advisory Committee back both Chioma Ukoma, Brian Ukoma, Emma, Ruby, Joy Irobi, Azu, Nwada Obi, and others demanded the creation of additional accounts under their control, like I said, and a new non-profit similar to the model of Ngozi's new dimension mandate account. And Bach suggested that Ruby Nnadi be in charge of such an account and they to control it too. And that was an alarm to the APM and others. These people also insisted it must be Ruby that must control the new account. Oh, that it must be Ruby that will control the new account. But knowing Ruby ties with Ngozi and their motives that kept changing. I told you guys before, they said people that they want to go and change something in the website. Later they now said, people said people are no more donating because they dislike APM's being signatory to the account. All lies. But the intention was to remove the then APM and make Ruby and I don't know who so signatory to the account. You understand? And so, like I read before, the people insisted that it must be Ruby that must control the new account. These people, that is, all these people are called Chioma Okoma, Brian Okoma, Emma, Ruby Nnadi, Joy Irobi, Azu, Nwada Obi, and the others. They are these people. So these people also insisted that it must be Ruby that must control the new account. But knowing Ruby ties with Ngozi
Post Club
and their motives that kept changing and changing,
and the People's Club of Zoo.
that was what made
Animal Kingdom.
APM
TikTok, leave my page.
reluctant in
Leave
granting
my page
back
for me
request.
now.
And he later refused because confirming it that is very wrong according to our bylaws. APM Kuchili, that these people do not have rights. They're not supposed to be there. In fact, according to our laws guiding us as a government. Then later, Ruby and Emma made an aggressive move to contact the chief of defense staff, BDF, who rebuffed them also. And penetrating our defense and finance has been the goal of those who have attempted to destroy Biafra movement, whether for Nigeria or for their personal motives. So after they tried all this and failed, they sought a way to remove our APM. You now understand how, you know, how they started looking for a way now to remove our APM. We refused. They tried and tried. APM, which they now started looking and ganging and doing meeting upon meeting to remove our APM. CRC back failures. I want to tell you guys. It took CRC over 3 weeks in 2024. In 2024 coup d'etat to speak up and bring solution to the situation in the government. Why the people of Biafra were looking for them to act according to our bylaws. Guys, remember then, CRC chairman were nowhere to be found. Now you now understand why everywhere went silent, because they were on the path of Ngozi after all. You know, when those things were happening, everywhere went silent. We came to the space and started asking them questions. And we moved. And what happened? At the end of the day, CRC chairman were mute. Ruby mute. Joy Irobi, all of them mute. This thing were heating up. They were silent because they were on the side of Ngozi. You now understand what happened then. It took them 3 good weeks in 2024 coup d'etat before they could speak up and bring solutions to the situation in the government. Whilst the people of Biafra were looking for them to act according to our bylaws. CRC man failed there. CRC chairman and gang became deaf, dumb, and blind because they were with Ngozi. CRC department that was supposed to be settling cases and queries among Biafrans. Instead, the CRC department created the queries, created the enmities, created the saga amongst Biafrans. Example, under 2 weeks of CRC engagement in blocking our accounts, the chairman threw out memos like flies in the air, creating media saga everywhere. CRC department is supposed to be a department that settle cases, that settle quarrels, differences amongst brothers. Instead, it's the same CRC department that created queries, created enmity, created saga amongst us, created confusion among us. They started flying memos up and down, up and down. People that were supposed to be gathering us together were the very people that were scattering us. They attempted to fundraise with the unauthorized bank account. They attempted. They did it. CRC called our then APM a criminal. And when you call our then APM a criminal, you, CRC chairman, indirectly, you were calling our then prime minister a criminal. CRC chairman set up a cabinet meeting to bring down the then APM. Same moment, Asia Middle East Town Hall meeting was going on. That's a disgrace. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, Imam Madabo, or whatever his name is a People's Club of Nigeria He was there busy protecting the back of a sisterly brotherhood, Ngozi and Ruby. This is also why he wanted Ruby to be part of the signatory to the account. So that all the agenda, all the People's Club agenda and the idea will be carried out. What is their agenda? To make sure that Nigeria continues to be one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was what happened until today. The CRC chairman and gang are there. Ask them what they have achieved. Nothing. Ask them if they are following the RRR. Nothing. Are they working to restore Biafra? Nothing. Are they working to recognize Biafra? No. Nothing. Why are they there? To distract the real Briggy. Why is Ngozi still there? To distract the real Briggy. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see with me that Briggy is bringing results to over 80 million Biafrans. And this is why today Biafrans are hoping on going home, hoping on being free from the hands of Fulani Islamic terrorist Nigeria government. Let me stop here for now. Thank you for the opportunity for listening. So these are all the red flags of the coup accountability group. The two coup d'etats Briggy government experienced under 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard how it happened. Now you will now know who is who.
She keeps sharing.
Or who is doing the right
all
thing.
Platforms.
Because if you will not believe in the goals of the government.
Doing it 30 minutes.
CRC
So you can share
do
it
not believe
everywhere.
in the goals of the government.
Clement one name.
It's only Oge Nkere is now the prime minister that believes in the goal, which is RRR, working with our lobbies and international lawyers 247